brace yourselves, because the running whisper among top-tier squads is that Mobile Legends Bang Bang patch 2.1.28 could completely flip the current meta on its head. Big hero reworks, equipment shifts, and even map tweaks are already making waves in the test server. If you thought you knew how to climb rank ladder, think again. This update might just force a total strategy reset. Welcome back to Mobile Legends News. Today we're diving deep into the new test server patch 2.1.28. If you're grinding classic or ranked, you'll want to pay close attention. This update isn't just minor tweaks, it's generating major buzz in the MLBB community because test server updates give us a sneak peek at what's going for the live servers. So whether you're a tank main, marksman carry, or roam support, stay tuned, because we're about to unpack what could change your next game. Let's get real for a moment. Every time the devs roll out a major update for Mobile Legends, there's a familiar set of pain points we as players see repeatedly. First, hero balancing issues. You know the scenario. One hero gets buffed and suddenly they dominate across all ranks. And we're asking for a nerf the next patch. Or a hero that was fine becomes too overpowered, and we end up with the same picks in every game. Second is power spikes. Something as small as a cooldown tweak or a item number change can make a huge difference for late game carry potential or early game ganking. And third, the community is always divided. Some players love the change, some hate it, and some feel the updates don't go far enough. Which changes are necessary? Which are just cosmetic? And how do these affect meta beyond high rank? This is why the test server exists. The advanced server, aka test server of Mobile Legends, lets players get access to upcoming features and changes before they hit the live server. It's a controlled environment where the devs can monitor how adjustments affect gameplay, collect feedback, and anticipate unintended consequences. But even in a test server, not everything works perfectly. Some changes still create unexpected unbalances. Some heroes fall out of favor, and sometimes players on the test server find a new meta that either gets crushed or becomes a dominant once live. The challenge for you, the player, is staying ahead of that curve. If you keep playing like the old meta while everyone else adapts to the new one, you'll fall behind. If you jump into the update only partially understanding the changes, you might pick a hero who just got nerfed or an item that's been reworked. So knowing what 2.1.28 brings isn't just fun, it's essential for playing competitive. Alright, now let's dive straight into what's shaping up to be one of the most exciting and conversation-starting updates Mobile Legends has had in a while. Patch 2.1.28. This isn't just your usual balance patch with a couple of number tweaks. Nope. This one feels like Moonton decided to shake the snow globe in the current meta and see where everything lands. It's got hero adjustments, item reworks, and gameplay changes that could completely reshape how we play every role, from the beefiest frontliners to the most fragile marksmen. First, let's talk about heroes. You know that feeling when a hero you haven't touched in months suddenly becomes relevant again? That's what's happening with Hilda. She's been given a serious tune-up. Not just numbers, but identity. Previously, she was known mostly as the bush-dwelling menace, living rent-free in the shrubs and waiting to slap unsuspecting enemies. Now, she's stepping into the spotlight with a more dynamic kit. Her passive has been revamped so that entering a bush immediately empowers her next basic attack with bonus damage and a hefty slow, and her skill 1 now grants a strong shield and speed boost. What that means in practice is that Hilda is no longer chained to the bushes. She can travel in lane, clear minions faster, and become a reliable frontline threat instead of a roaming scarecrow. She loses a bit of her old defense reduction power, but honestly, the trade-off feels worth it. Expect to see her back in XP lane drafts once this patch goes live, especially among players who love high-tempo early aggression. Then we've got Savior. The devs clearly wanted to smooth out his scaling, because his previous build-up stacks, hit transcendence, delete everything rhythm could feel either godly or clunky depending on the match. Now, his first skill's width has been increased, His first stage of Transcendence is permanent, and his immobilization duration has been trimmed down. The translation is that Savior will feel smoother and more consistent, but less reliant on that one perfect moment of burst CC. It's like Moonton traded his Big Bang energy for more reliable area control. Mage mains are likely to love this. It rewards skill expression and timing, rather than just button spamming and praying your combo lands. And then there's Minotaur and Atlas. Together, these two tanks represent what Moonton is trying to do with this patch. Move away from pure stat walls towards utility-driven frontliners. Minotaur's healing is getting a big buff, especially when he enters Rage mode, now focusing on restoring health to himself and his lowest HP ally. His ultimate slow effect has been cranked up to 60%, which means those clutch Rage mode teamfights are going to be even nastier. Atlas, on the other hand, is seeing his passive range expanded, but his defensive growth now scales with bonus health instead of flat numbers. In plain English, he rewards tank builds that invest smartly in health items rather than just stacking armor. These kind of changes tell us something. Moonton wants tanks to play smarter, not just bulkier. Now let's talk about the silent meta shifters. Items. Because let's face it, you can buff all the heroes you want, but the biggest surprises often come from equipment changes. Take Twilight Armor for instance. The devs have completely rewritten it. It now provides less HP, but more physical defense and introduces a new passive that slows down attack speed of anyone hitting you. Imagine trading your heavy metal armor for a sleek new model that doesn't just make you bulky, but has a built-in slow aura for anyone who dares to punch you. This change could seriously affect bruisers and fighters who relied on Twilight Armor's old damage cap passive. They'll feel squishier at first, but they'll also get more playmaking potential in close quarters brawls. Dominance Ice is another big shakeup. Its old HP bonus is gone, but it now provides both physical and magic defense that scales based on how many enemies are nearby. That means tanks will literally get tougher when they're in the thick of it. The catch? You need to stay close to your team. Solo roaming or wandering too far will now make you a lot more vulnerable. It's a clever way of encouraging team synergy. Tanks protecting carries, and carries positioning smartly behind tanks. Together, these reworks turn itemization into a team sport. No more lone wolf tanks trying to 1v5. Patch 2.1.28 is screaming, stick with your squad. What's fascinating is how these item changes could ripple across ranked play and even into the professional scene. In solo queue where coordination can sometimes feel like a myth, players who adapt fast to proximity-based defense items are going to dominate. Expect coordinated duos like a roamer and mid duo to perform even better, while isolated laners might struggle without that group defense synergy. Meanwhile, in pro play, this patch could shift the drafting landscape completely. Hilda's rework make her a flexible pick in both XP and roam roles. Savior's smoother scaling makes him more stable mid-lane mage, and team-centric defense items will favor compositions that group early and contest objectives together. The age of split-push tank and solo-engaged plays might start to fade, replaced by 5-man formations built for tight coordinated engagement. There's also a strategic undertone to all of this. By weakening raw solo durability and rewarding group play, Moonton is gently nudging the meta towards faster, objective-based matches. Team fights will decide games, not endless side lane duels. And while we haven't seen massive jungle system changes this patch, the ripple effects on map movement might be noticeable. Junglers will have to time their ganks around group fights instead of solo skirmishes, and that could create space for support junglers like Fredrin or Barretts to resurface. If you're playing on the test server right now, this is your moment to experiment before the storm hits live. Try Hilda in the XP lane and see how her new sustain and mobility change your early game. Queue up Savior mid and learn the new rhythm of his skill flow. It's less about spamming and more about spacing. If you're a tank main, rebuild your item sets from scratch. Test Dominance Ice and Black Ice Shield in both solo and group fights, and pay attention to how your durability fluctuates depending on positioning. And for the rest of you, pay close attention to the meta patterns emerging from test server matches. The players who learn early which builds and comps thrive under this new structure will skyrocket in rank when the patch drops live. Patch 2.1.28 isn't just another update, it's a statement. Moonson is clearly pushing Mobile Legends towards a more team-oriented strategic future where synergy and adaptability matter more than raw stats. With hero reworks, item redesigns, and gameplay adjustments, the patch sets the stage for a fresh, more coordinated meta. That's why player feedback on the test server is crucial. It helps polish these massive shifts before they reshape live rank and competitive environments. So what do you think about patch 2.1.28? Are these changes a step in the right direction? Or do they risk breaking the current balance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and tell us which hero you think will dominate next. And don't forget to subscribe for future patch breakdowns and meta updates. Till next time!